I'm Tom from Do-It-Yourself Home Automation, and today I'm going to let Alexa roast me a chicken using the Amazon Smart Oven. This is a smart oven. It's a convection oven and microwave from Amazon that ties into their Alexa service. You can issue commands, including to roast a chicken. So I'm going to start by putting the right pan in here. So I've got the short rack. This comes with a turntable, which I've installed. And then this is the short rack that comes with this. You don't want to have this in when you're microwaving, but for convection cooking, put that in. And then this is the air fry tray, and I'm going to put my chicken on that. I'm going to use a Mary's chicken, always the very best when cooking with Alexa. Here's our chicken on the plate here, and I'm just going to go ahead and salt the outside of it. I like to lightly salt. So here's the oven again. Now they're going to insert the temperature probes. This is going to tell it when the chicken is done. I'll show how to do that into the chicken and then into the oven itself. Okay, so back to our chicken. Now we want to be breast side up here, and we want to look for the thickest part, which is usually going to be right in the middle of the breast. And then we're going to take our temperature probe, which I've got here, and just insert it into that. So that's into the thickest part of the meat here. And you want to keep it away from the bone as much as possible. I think I'll actually go out a little bit further. Make sure that it's not pressing right up against bone. And there we go with the probe inserted. Now let's put this into the oven. All right, there it is in the oven. Now I'm going to insert the probe into this little hole under the light on the right-hand side. It's going to tell me the temperature of the probe, 68 degrees right now. That seems pretty reasonable. Now this is in here. I think we're good. Let me move this down. Actually, I'm going to reinsert this so that it's a little bit at an angle. It's not touching the roof. And then there we go. There's our chicken. Now I'm going to close the door, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, and one thing to note, it will not display a temperature below 68, so probably that's actually colder than 68 degrees. And now we just say the magic words. Alexa, roast whole chicken.
What's the weight of whole chicken?
5 pounds.
Convection baking 5 pounds of whole chicken.
So you need to know the weight. It's going to get started. It's going to alternate showing me the probe temperature and the time remaining. It's looking at about 1 hour and 44 minutes of convection cooking in here. It's not the microwave, it's the convection cooking. We can see our chicken going, and that probe temperature is going to start to increase over time. Okay, so we're now cooking. One thing to note, you want to make sure there's enough clearance, ideally about a foot or more of clearance above the oven, and you also want to make sure that there's several inches of clearance behind. So I just pulled it out a little bit further to make sure I have enough clearance here, and we're just going to let it sit and cook. There we go with the probe, just taking a look at it. Okay, it's going along well. The probe's at 111 Fahrenheit. And I put a little tin foil on the back here just to make sure my cabinets are protected. And keep on cooking. Now this is another neat thing I want to show. While you're cooking, you can actually pull up the app on your phone, the Alexa app, and you can see a feed here. If you go into devices and then select the oven, you can see a feed of the time left, the goal temperature, 425, the current temperature, and then the food temperature there, which is the probe. So you can see it's up to 116. So you can actually monitor this from another room. Obviously, you shouldn't leave your house while something is cooking, but you can keep an eye on progress from within the app. Okay, so here we are at 140. I'll open this up and take a look. You can see it's looking pretty good. Okay, so it seems to have reached the end point of cooking, because we're at 175, and now it's just kind of keeping it warm at that point. So I think we're done. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And there is our chicken right in the oven. Looking great. I'm going to take that out, and you can see it. Obviously use oven mitts. Okay, so looking good. I'm going to pull this probe out. And then I'm just going to lift with 2 hands. I'm going to put this camera down, lift this out with 2 hands. I'm going to pull the probe first. And there's our chicken roasted in the Amazon oven. I'm going to transfer it over to a nice serving platter. And there we go. That's how we roast a whole chicken in the Amazon oven. Took a little less time than it predicted, about 1 hour and 20 minutes.